I don't even know how to start this.
All right. Welcome back to the Cozy Show, except you may have noticed it's just me sitting here. Hold on, let me start my little timer for the editing. It's just me, you guys, and I think that's a good place to start. Let's do some housekeeping, right? Things, as we've kind of alluded to on previous podcasts, Jaime and our lives have, changed over, the last, honestly, year or so. I got a big boy job, pretty busy these days. He started going back to school, so he's been doing that for a while. So priorities have shifted a little bit, to say the least. But, I guess I did go through like a life change of my own several months ago. A breakup. I guess that's not it's not really a secret at this point. But yeah, I think that was back in April. So that definitely freed up some time, I guess, for me. Does that sound bad? I don't know. But I have more time on my hands, and I have a lot of time to think, and a lot of time to look inwards. And I think I just came to the realization that I want to have a creative outlet again. I miss doing the podcast, but since we're not as available anymore to do the podcast every single week like we used to, it's more of an every once in a while thing for the Cozy Show. So I wanted to kind of, I've been thinking about this for a few weeks, and I thought it'd be really fun and a nice little journey to start my own little, I guess, sideshow / podcast, I guess. I don't know. I just want a place to yap, because I be yapping and I have a lot of thoughts, and I don't know. I thought it'd just be cool to have this little space to, get that out. So, welcome. I thought of a name a few days ago for this. It's the hardest fucking part, dude, is finding a name when you create something like this. But the name I thought of was Shower Thoughts. So, I don't know. I just feel I'm pretty sure that's a known phenomenon, a shower thought. When you're showering, you're not on your phone or distracted by anything, so you can kind of reflect, and you come to these realizations, and there's a lot of introspection, so I don't know. I feel I'd be doing that, and I feel that's what this show will be for sure. A lot of just introspection and me yapping and talking about life and talking about things I learned in therapy. You guys know I'm big on that. And yeah, just a lot of philosophizing. I think that's a word. I think you see where I'm going with that. But so yeah, feel free to comment if you feel you can think of a better name. But I think that's what I'm going to go with. That's the best I could come up with right now. So yeah. But I'm still planning to post this, I think, on our Cozy Show channel, because why the hell am I going to start over when we already have a following? But yeah, there's some housekeeping for you. Things have changed. Jaime's not as available. Even I'm not really as available, but it's the studio is literally in my house, so it's pretty easy for me to just pop out here and sit down and talk for an hour, versus Jaime having to drive here 25 plus minutes, to sit down for the pod. So yeah, here we are. Huh? Thanks for watching if you're still here. It's 4 minutes in. One other thing I wanted to just briefly mention before I kind of get into what I want to talk about today. It has come to my attention that there are some accusations out there as of late about me, coming from my ex-girlfriend. So I'm not going to talk about that today, but I will be like addressing that because I want to. Like, fuck, I don't want to get too into it right now because I want to wait to have Jaime on, and we're planning to do like a cozy show episode to talk about it because he wants to like weigh in. But yeah, there's just like some things that have been said about me, and none of it's true. Okay, like if you know, which honestly, I don't think that many people are like aware, but I know there is like some. What's the fucking word? I know there's some overlap between like my ex's people and people who watch the show. So that's like literally the only reason I want to address it, is just to kind of like not clear, I don't know, I guess clear my name, or just, you know, like tell the truth about it. Because yeah, basically in a nutshell, there are things being said and none of it's true. And like, I think I can understand where the misunderstanding is coming from. I don't want to be like nasty about it or anything. Like when we do talk about it, I literally just am wanting to like address it for the people who may have like picked up on what was being put down, so that I can kind of put an end to that, or just say my piece at least, you know, because I haven't like addressed it whatsoever. So stay tuned. That'll probably be like our next episode, I guess, with the both of us. Okay, let's move the fuck on from that. I do have a little bit of notes, but I want to talk about my Las Vegas trip. So, fuck, dude. These last few weekends, absolute benders, literally. This, like, okay, actually, well, I guess I went to Vegas on Sunday, flew back home yesterday, on Thursday. So 4 days in Vegas. But the weekend before that, we went to San Diego Friday through Monday for Angel's birthday. It was me, Jaime, Angel, and then our friend Jake. And that was a complete fucking bender as well. But I'm going to talk about that more with Jaime, I think, because he was there. That'll probably also be in the next pod. Because we had some like crazy fucking experiences, dude. Yeah, dude, just drinking every fucking night, not going to bed until like after 3 a.m., waking up, doing shit all day, drinking again, like literally just a cycle for like 3 fucking days in a row. Same shit with Vegas, which is what I'll get into now. I've never been to Vegas before, so it was my first time. It's my mom's 60th birthday, and that's why we went to Vegas. So we had planned that like months out. But yeah, I'll be honest, I was dreading going to Vegas because, like I said, I had just gone on this fucking San Diego trip. We literally like drank, and I went to bed drunk every fucking night, slept like shit, and just did it all over again for that whole weekend in SD. And I got sick as hell when I got back to, back home. So I was sick like all week. I missed a day of work, and that shit wasn't going away, dude. We all got sick, but I had a sore throat, and it just wouldn't go away, dude. It was like 4 or 5 days deep. And the only time I've ever had like a sore throat that lasted like that, it was strep throat. And so I was fucking terrified that I had that like right before this Vegas trip. And so literally the day before I flew out there, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, dude, I'm kind of nervous, like this sore throat's not going away. And my mom just happened to have these antibiotics in her medicine cabinet left over, I think, from like a prescription she had. And she was really pushing for me to take those. And I was like sketched out because I'm like, fuck, dude, I don't want to just take some random ass antibiotics, But my mom's also a nurse. And so she kind of looked it up like, okay, does this work for strep throat? The antibiotic was called azithromycin. Okay? Myosin. Remember that ending, because when I was a kid, I took antibiotics called erythromycin. Very close. But it's in like the same family as what I took this time. But when I took that as a kid, I had a fucking allergic reaction to it. And I had like hives all over my body, and my skin was super red, the bumps and everything. So I was really nervous to fucking take this azithromycin before my trip. But I said, fuck it. And I took it. And after 2 days of taking that, it's only like a 4-day thing that you're supposed to take it, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, but I don't think that's like proper usage of an antibiotic. They're very strict about that. Like, you're supposed to take antibiotics like the full dose, because if you don't, apparently like the bacteria that it's fighting can like mutate and kind of become like immune to the antibiotic, and then you create a superbug. I always learned that in school, but anyways, I definitely did not do that. I took it for 2 days, and the second day I took it is when I flew to Vegas. So when I got to Vegas, my fucking neck, dude, was like so red. As red as fuck, and my chest too, and even my face was starting to get like hella red and like bumps and stuff. And so I was like, Mom. She was like, yeah, stop taking that. I was like, okay. But it did the trick. My sore throat's gone. I feel a lot better. I am hella worried that I'm gonna get sick again now that I'm back, because it was another fucking bender weekend, just like that, like just drinking to excess and, you know, staying up late as fuck. But anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So I get to Vegas, right? It's my mom, my 2 sisters, and my friend Angel came with. He's been on the show. You probably are familiar. I'm really glad that Angel came, because I think if it was just me and my family, I would have had fun and it would have been cool vibes, but I think I would have had like FOMO and been like antsy, like wanting to do kind of like hood rat shit in Vegas, you know, because my family's not really like, what's the word? I said this perfectly in therapy yesterday, and my therapist actually gave me kudos on using such proper English. What did I say? Fuck. Basically, to put it less poetically, my family is a little more like, they're a little more timid, and they don't like to, you know, go out and like get wild, you know. But Angel, he is my friend. Like, that's the guy, you know. If you are looking for a crazy little weekend, you know, or a nightly excursion, he's your guy. So really glad to have him there. I got there. Angel was already there. He'd already been gambling. He was up some money. We went gambling. It was late, too, because I flew in late. So we went gambling probably at like 10 or 11 p.m. I was gambling my fucking balls off, dude. I'm pretty cheap. Everybody knows that. When I gamble, I'm very, like, you know, conservative. Once I'm up a little bit, I just stop because I don't want to lose any money. But I was in Vegas, so I was like, fuck it, you know? Played some blackjack. I think I lost a little bit of money, or maybe I was up a little bit. And then we went to the Baccarat table, which I've actually never played before. But Angel has been, like, raving about Baccarat. Pretty cool game. Very simple. Literally a 50-50 chance. You just bet if you're going to win or if the banker's going to win. And that's it. Like, whichever side they deal the cards on is closer to 9, that's who wins. So it's literally a 50-50 chance. Pretty sick. I won a shitload of money on that, dude. For me, at least, a shitload. I started with $65, and I was up to like $190 in a matter of like 10 minutes. And I was so fucking like exhilarated. And I don't know, I just started doing like fun little like, okay, fuck it, you know, let's see. And then I would lose. And then I'd be like, oh, fuck, I want to make that back. So I'd bet again and I'd lose. And I just kept betting again, dude. And it was like another person was fucking sitting at that table, because I lost everything I made. And I left there with fucking like $15. I was like, God damn it, dude, because I was so up. Oh, my God. And when we were gambling, Angel and I were like kicking around the idea of going to the strip club after. And so that was definitely one thing like I went to Vegas wanting to do, was to go to a fucking Vegas strip club. And so in my head, when I was up like that, I was like, dude, this is perfect like stripper money, you know? And yeah, I fucking lost it all. So we left the casino with I had $117 in my wallet. But we're like, fuck it, we're going to the strip club, you know? So we initially decided to go to this one called Sapphire. Pretty sure it's like the biggest, you know, or like one of the most like popular strip clubs over there. So we order an Uber because that shit was far as hell. There's like a 40-minute walk, which we were about to do, and we're like, no way. You know, it's already like 12:30 p.m. a.m. at this point. Late as hell. And so we get the Uber, we get in. This guy gets in with us because we got the fucking like share one because it's cheaper. This guy gets in. He's dressed in like a suit. Probably like late 30s. Kind of handsome. And he gets in. He's like, so which club are you guys going to? Like, he just knew. Like, I think we're going to go to Sapphire. And he was like, Sapphire's okay, but you should really go to Las Toxicas. And he was like, that place is like, it's all like Latino women. You know, the music's good, whatever. And he's like, I actually own a gentleman's club in Texas, and I'm here in town for the gentleman's club convention. Because that was going on at our hotel, like in their little fucking convention room center thing. So anyways, you know, towards the end of the car ride, this guy had swayed us to go to this club. So we just got out there. And we're like, why are you going there? You know, if you own a gentleman's club, like, what are you doing? And he was like, I like one of the girls there. And I was like, wow. So yeah, dude. And me and Angel have a little pep talk, right? Before we go in. We had a pep talk, like, because I've been to a strip club one other time, right? This is a gentleman's club, by the way. So the difference there, strip club, they do not get like full nude, right? Boobs, coochie, butt, all covered. But in a gentleman's club, they can get fully nude. So, yeah, when we pulled up, I saw it was a gentleman's club, and I was so fucking hyped. And me and Angel have a fucking pep talk before we go in, right? We're like, okay, we've been to a gentleman's club once before together. And once you walk in, they fucking swarm you. Like, it's their job. Like, you know, they're there to make money, not to fuck around, right? So blood in the water, you know, they see these young fucking dudes, handsome, you know, loaded with cash. They see us walk in, and we know they're going to swarm. So, wow, I'm really beating this to death. I don't know why I keep saying this. Pep talk, we're like, okay, the first girls that come up to us, we're not going to fucking, like, fold and get a dance from them, whatever. Like, we know they're just there for our money. Let's sit down, get comfortable, you know, get our eye on somebody who we really, like, are feeling so we can get the dance from them, you know, not just, like, whoever the first person is, right? So we're like, okay, agreed, you know. It takes us a minute to get in, but as soon as we walk in that fucking building, dude, I can't emphasize this enough. Okay? Within 10 seconds of me being in this fucking building, my hand is on a stripper's ass, and she's running her fingers through my hair. Okay? I don't want to put too fine of a point on this, but that's what happened. And, dude, immediately. Like, we walk in, they lock eyes with us, they fucking stand up, two of them, 2v2, right? They walk straight over to us. And I'm kind of in front of Angel a little bit. And so my, you know, dancer, stripper, whatever you want to call her, she's from Cuba. Very thick accent. Very sexy accent, I'll say that. She starts, like, touching my hair, dude. They know exactly how to fucking get me, dude. Oh, my God. She starts touching my hair. She's like, oh, wow, like, such nice hair. And she grabs my hand. See, I didn't grab her. Okay, I want to make that very clear. Like, she grabs my hand, puts it on her butt, and starts touching me, like, on my chest and my hair and hugging me and this and that. And she's like, wow, you're so handsome. And immediately I'm really doubting my ability to tell this woman no, you know, to stick to the plan. and be cool and not, fold immediately. And so we sit down at this table, like not in a private area, just in the general, like, strip club. We sit there. The girl with me sits on my lap. Angel's girl sits on her lap. My girl's still just rizzing me up. But I'm being so fucking, like, stiff and nervous, dude, and tense. And she said so many times, she's like, why are you so nervous? Like, it's okay, And I'm like, dude, I'm nervous because you're fucking aggressive, Like, that's, the transactional part really, like, takes me out of the game. Because I'm like, dude, I'm so nervous right now. Like, I said I was not going to do this, and now I'm fucking folding, I will say, if I had time to sit in that club, she's not the girl I would have gone with, but she was obviously, like, super fucking hot. Like, she's a stripper, and I was, roped in, and, she's taking her, like, she's pulling down her bra and, like, taking her boobs out. She had big, fat, fake tits, which is crazy. Yeah, and she's, like, grinding on me and dancing on me, like, right there, like, dude, for free. And I was like, wow. And then, she pops the question, like, do you want to go get a dance? And, pep talk be damned. I looked at Angel. I could tell Angel, like, wanted to stick to the plan, but I could tell he's also ready to fold. And I just said, fuck it, dude. Let's go, right? So we go to the fucking private room. $100 later. She's dancing on me. I'm still kind of nervous, but I'm, like, also, trying to indulge and enjoy it. Wow, it's a little harder to share these crazy-ass details when it's just me here. But, she's dancing on me, whatever. She took her top off, which is cool. I'm touching her, I'm grabbing her, like, boobs and stuff. She's shoving them in my face. She put them in my mouth, which, I don't want to sound like I wasn't, what's the word? Contributing to that happening. The first time I went to a gentleman's club was, like, years ago. And I remember I asked the dancer, like, when she was giving me a dance, because she was, like, shoving her boobs in my face, like, hard. I remember I asked her in a moment of weakness if I could, suck on them. And she was like, I was like, okay. But this time, I didn't even have to ask. Like, she literally was, like, shoving them in my face and shit. She pulled back and, like, aimed it, like, into my mouth. And yeah, who am I, not to start sucking them things. So I did suck on both of them. That was pretty cool. I did get the thought in my head, like, I wonder how many other guys tonight have fucking sucked on these, like, it's probably not the most, like, sanitary area to be putting my mouth on, I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm on the fucking antibiotics right now already, So anyways, yeah, that happened. And she kept trying to, like, the next step for her in getting more money from me was, like, wanting to go to the private room, which is, like, a little room where it's just you and her. And she was really pushing that, man. Hold on, I need some water. Water, nothing like it. She was really pushing for that. Like, over and over, she's like, come on, it'll be just me and you, nobody's around, we can do whatever we want. I think that's where the shit goes down, like, that's where the prostitution happens. But I literally just did not have that kind of money on me. They definitely had an ATM, and you could use card, but I knew I didn't want to spend that kind of money, like, I'm here just to experience this and dabble my fucking toe, dip my toe in, for lack of a better phrase. But yeah, she was really trying. It was funny because she would do certain things that she could tell that I liked. And she'd be like, see, you like it. Like, let's go to the room. And I was like, no. And the crazy part, dude, the real kicker is like when we're getting these dances, like me and Angel are in the same room. It's a big room, and there's a little divider between me and Angel, so I can't see him or hear him or anything, you know? But I know he's there. I can feel his presence. And the crazy part is my woman, she tells me, your friend paid for a dance. Come on. He paid for 20 minutes. And I said, girl, if there's one thing I know in this fucking life, it's that Angel's cheap ass did not pay for the fucking private room, dude. And I looked at this woman, and I literally was like, you just lied to me. You're lying. And she was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, oh my God, dude, no way, you know? And sure enough, I asked Angel after. He's like, no, I fucking never agreed to that. And she was speaking Spanish to the fucking other girl, like the other dancer, like before she told me that. So I think she was trying to like fool me, you know, by saying something in Spanish that I didn't know. Oh. Anyways, that was cool. I tipped her. You know, I wish I could have tipped her a little more, but I had, you know, the $17 in my wallet, so that's what I gave her. She was like, she didn't act like weird, like, you know, I'm sure she was disappointed, but she didn't act like it. So yeah, that was that. That was cool. After that, we're like, okay, so now we could just kind of, you know, now we could chill and really take it in. So we went into the club, sat back down, far from the stage, because we know we don't got fucking money like that. Actually, at all. I didn't have any cash at that point. So we're like just sitting and watching the show and like enjoying ourselves, whatever. And women keep coming up to us, like the strippers, like wanting, dude, they really know how to get you, I'm telling you. Like they'll just start touching you, or like, you know, they'll grab my ear and start playing with it and like, you know, take my hand and put it on them. But every one that came like after that, I would just cut it so quick and be like, dude, I don't have money. Like, I'm sorry, you know? And then instantly. Like, one came and she was like, I don't know, she said something. She's trying to rizz me up, whatever. And I was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm broke as hell. Like, you don't want me. Trust me, you know? And I don't think she spoke that well, like, of English. And so she's like, sorry, I don't understand. I was like, I don't have money. And she fucking laughed and walked away. And I was like, I'd rather that than me, like, egg it on, you know, and accept and touch them and shit. And then eventually I have to tell them I don't have money. And they're like, seriously? So I'm like trying to just cut it right there, you know? And there was this other one that hella made eye contact with me like later. And like as soon as she looked at me, like she smiled and I smiled and just like looked away because I'm like, please, like, I don't have money for you. I'm sorry, you know? And she came up to me and she straight up was like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And she just walked away. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. The last thing for the club, right? We've been there for a while. I was so ready to leave. I was literally about to tell Angel, like, let's dip, you know? And it was, like, about 3 a.m. at this point. Late as fuck. On our first night. So I'm like, dude, fuck this, you know? I go to the bathroom. I come out. As I'm going to sit back down in my chair next to Angel, this other stripper... Are you supposed to say stripper? Like, is that demeaning? That's what it is, right? Dancer, whatever. She comes and starts talking to Angel. And in my head, I'm just like, okay, it's another, like, you know, she's trying to get him. And then she sits down at our table, but, like, across from us. And it's, like, a small table, so it's, like, you know, we're close. And I'm like, okay, still have my guard up. I'm, like, just waiting for her. Because, like, she's making small talk with Angel. Just talking about, like, where we're from and what we do and why we're in Vegas, you know, all that stuff. Damn, it's already 30 minutes. And... I still got my guard up. I'm waiting for her to, like, drop the bomb. Like, okay, who's paying, you know? Or, like, let's fucking go. Let's go do a dance or whatever. And she doesn't. And, like, we just keep talking. And she keeps talking to me and talking to Angel. And we're both talking and we're laughing and we're connecting. And it was fun, dude. Like, it was a cool conversation. But I still have my guard up, dude. You know? And she ends up telling us, like, this is my first night as a stripper. Like, it's literally my first night here or anywhere, like, first time. And I'm like, you're fucking lying. Like, I literally told her, like, you're lying. I don't believe you. I feel like she was trying to, like, in my head, she's trying to create more, like, allure. Like, oh, it's my first time, you know? Like, I think that would, I don't know, I just thought it was a tactic of, like, you know, trying to draw me in and make me, like, want her more. But I wasn't buying it, you know, but she kept saying that. And then so I was it was a great conversation. Like, actually, I know how it sounds. Like, I know she's a stripper or whatever, but it was a good convo and it felt really genuine. And she told us like 1,000 times, she's like, I promise you, like, I don't want your money. I'm just really nervous, and this is my first night, and like, I don't know any of the girls, and I saw you guys sitting here, and you guys look pretty cool, so I just wanted to like come talk because I'm so fucking anxious right now. I'm like, okay, like, it's cool, you know? So we're talking a lot. Like, I was telling her about my job, and I was asking her hella questions about how she got into this, and like, you know, all this stuff. She's told me where she's from. She's from this little town in Texas, and then she moved to California, and then she moved to Vegas because nursing school's like cheaper there. And yeah, dude, we talked for over an hour. Like, I think she came and sat down. I checked the time, and it was like 3 a.m., like right when she sat down, or like a little before, I think like 2:45-ish. And by the time we got done talking and we left the club, it was like after 4 a.m. So we talked for a long-ass fucking time, dude. And it was really genuine. And I asked her for her Instagram, which is so crazy, dude, because like, I'm not that guy, which I'm going to talk about a little more after this story. I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy to like go talk to women or just people in general that I don't know. Like, I'm not a small talk person. I'm so anxious, and I just always feel like I'll be a bother, you know, or I'll be annoying or something. But dude, we were talking, and I was like, I want to ask for Instagram so bad because it's just so cool to me to like, you know, I meet people and I'll never see them again, but it's cool to have them on Instagram because then it's like, oh, I remember like 2 years ago in Vegas when I fucking met you in a strip club. Like, you know what I mean? It's just cool to like have that follow you from that moment, you know, even though you'll never see him again. So I asked her for her Instagram, and she gave it to me, and I was like, sick, you know? So yeah, we followed each other. That was cool. She was just cool, dude. She was so cool. And she was our age, which is the thing. Like, she was 24, and so fucking pretty, dude. Like, the hands down the prettiest woman in that fucking building. Like, when she sat down, that was the first thought in my head was like, you're so like cute. Oh my God, you know? But anyways, the convo was cool. She was cool. Followed on Instagram, whatever. The whole time we're talking, she's like, I'm so nervous. Like, because they're going to call me to go dance on stage. Because the whole time you're there, they like cycle through the women like to go dance, you know? And that's how they make their money as well. Like, besides the dances, you know, with people like throwing money on the stage. So she was hella nervous, dude. Through the whole convo, she's like, they're going to fucking call my name, you know? And every time the DJ would be like, all right, like, coming up next, we got like this girl's name, you know? Every time she'd pause and be like, you know? And eventually they call her name, right? Which I won't say for her privacy, but they call her fucking name. And me and Angel are like, holy shit, like, we just formed this whole ass human connection with you, and now we're about to see you go on stage and get naked. Like, because they have to take their top off, like, for the second song. They do 2 songs. So I'm like, oh my God, you know? And I'm like, we have to fucking tip her. Like, when she goes up there, like, I'm taking money out and fucking giving it to her, because, like, holy shit, you know? We just talked forever. Like, the most genuine conversation. And what really sells it for me is that, you know, that it's her first night ever as a stripper, is they fucking called her name over and over, and she never went up on the stage, dude. They called her name like 5 times, and the girl that's before her is like on the stage, just like, you know, half-heartedly dancing, waiting for her to come up, and she never goes up. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's time for you to go up. And she's like, oh my God, I don't think I can do it. Like, I'm too nervous. And she never goes, dude. Like, she just sits there talking to us still. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like, it really is your first fucking night here, because no way you just did that. Like, they called her name forever, and she never went. So they just ended up calling the next person's name. And I was like, oh my God, are you going to get fucking fired? And she's like, no, I have to pay to go up there. So, like, they're not going to fire me. Which apparently they have to pay $20, which I was like, that's not that bad, but you have to pay $20 just to have that little, like, slot to go up there and dance for 2 songs and hope that people, like, throw money. And also, like, her thing was, she's like, nobody's fucking throwing money right now either. Like, I feel like this shit's so not worth it. And she was just so anxious. She's like, I don't even know how to dance. Like, I've never danced on a pole. Like, I'm just gonna go up there and fucking wing it. Oh my god, wow. Anyways, that was fucking gnarly. Like, I couldn't believe we were there to witness that. Like, sat there chatting, and she doesn't even go up. Oh my god. But yeah, that was gnarly. Angel kept giving me shit after, because I definitely, like, talked to her the most through that conversation. She came to Angel first, but then it was mostly me talking for, like, that fucking hour and a half. But when we left the club, Angel was like, dude, you're trying to save her, huh? Like, you're trying to fucking take her out of here. And I was like, dude, I would. Like, she was so fucking beautiful. Like, I can't even... There's no way I can explain it to you to understand the way this woman looked, dude. Gorgeous. So cute. So funny. So cool. So genuine. Oh, not gonna lie, I was simping after that one. I was definitely, like, simping that night and the next day. And I kept playing the song I'm in Love with a Stripper by T-Pain. That was, like, our fucking anthem that trip, dude. Long story short, after that, though, like, over the next, like, 2 days, we tried, dude. Like, we tried to hang out with her. Because I'm like, dude, what would be cooler than fucking meeting a woman like that and that whole story in the club? The only thing that could be cooler is if we fucking hang out with her again, you know, and, like, create some memories. So the next day, like, she slid up on Angel's story because he followed her too. She slid up on Angel's Instagram story. They were messaging a little bit, mostly me. I would take the phone and fucking cook. But she just kept giving us, like, non-answers, you know, like, we'd be like, oh, like, any plans for tonight? Are you gonna be at the club again? Like, we're trying to figure out what to do, type shit. And just, like, she'd respond hella later, like, sorry, I was napping. You know, the old fucking nap excuse. But everything was just a non-answer, like, I'll give you an example. So, like, she basically was, you know, beating around the bush with Angel. And then she slid up on one of my stories, like, the next day that I had posted. And I went straight for the fucking, like, I just went for it. And I was like, hey, we're going to go to Omnia nightclub, which is, like, the fucking most popular club in Vegas right there on the Strip. We got it for free, which it was a Tuesday night, so I think that's why. But my mom's friend who ended up pulling up to Vegas, shout out Terry, she talked to one of the promoters and was like, yo, like, my daughter and our sons are, like, wanting to go to the club. What's up? You know? And he gave us fucking, like, 6 free tickets, dude. Sick. So anyways, I invite this girly from the strip club to go to that club with us. And the answer she gave me was like, oh my gosh, I've never been to Omnia. And so that's what we're dealing with there. You know, it's like she's, like, entertaining it, but not committing or giving us yes or no. So, like, that was where I was like, okay, I'm over it, you know? Still have her on Instagram, though, which is cool. So anyways, let's see. The next day, we're dead as fuck after that strip club because we didn't sleep till, like, fucking 5 a.m. or later. It was awful. I went out with my family that night, well, all of us. So it's, like, me, Angel, my mom's friend Terry, her daughter, and then my family, so my mom and my sisters. We all go out that night. And we get fucking plastered, dude. I've never been drunk with my family, but it was pretty fucking fun. I was like, dude, this has to be, like, a really good bonding experience, you know? Like, we're all drunk as hell. We're laughing. We're dancing, you know? We're shitting on each other. Like, it was just fun. Really fun. And I got fucking... Dude, like, I got really drunk. It was gnarly. What's funny is at one point I went to the bathroom drunkenly. And there's this mirror, like, right between the women's and the men's bathroom doors. And there's this lady, like, taking pictures in it. I could tell she's, like, definitely older than me, you know? Maybe, like, late 30s, early 40s. Definitely 40s. But she's taking a picture, and I'm just faded. And I was like, can I take a picture with you? And we take a picture. She adds me on Instagram, which I was like, damn, 2 Instagrams, you know, so far. It's crazy. Yeah, so we follow each other, and that's pretty cool. I've actually been messaging a little bit. I don't know. I was just like, fuck it, dude. You know, what are you gonna do? So that was cool. Went back to the room, whatever. Next day is Tuesday. So we go out to the pool in the morning because every fucking day at my hotel, our hotel, they have a pool party. So they have this big ass pool with a swim up bar and all these like, you know, sunbathing chairs around it. There's a DJ fucking blasting like house music. Everywhere's fucking house music, dude. Everywhere. House music everywhere you go. Not a big fan of house. I think maybe it grew on me just a little bit after this trip. I think I like house a lot better when there's actual lyrics, because when it's just like the fucking, you know, no music, like I fucking can't. I can't do it. It's just like, it's cool for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, okay, fucking say something, you know, like I need the lyrics. Anyways, we're at this pool party. I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit because we're fucking 40 minutes in. God damn, I need some water. One thing. Oh, okay, so after we went out like drunkenly the night before, right? Me and Angel and my mom's friend Terry's daughter. Fuck, I'll say her name. Her name's Lauren. We kind of had like a drunken like heart to heart, you know? And we were just talking about life, you know, kind of like shower thoughts, like type shit, you know, just like, what do I want to do with my life? What is life itself? What do we want to experience type of thing? And so I was talking a lot about like, you know, lately I've realized my whole life I've been very like timid and too shy and scared to like go talk to strangers, mainly women, but just strangers in general. Cause like, I love meeting new people. It's such a thrill to me to like meet someone new just off of scratch, you know, but I've just never been that guy. Like I'm saying, like I do not go up and initiate conversations with strangers ever. I always just feel like I'm going to be like a bother, you know, they're going to be like annoyed or like inconvenienced by it. So we're talking and Lauren was like, dude, you just got to go for it, man. Like life's short. You're cool. Like you have like depth to you, you know, you're very genuine. You're not like a weirdo. You're handsome, whatever. Kind of hyping me up, you know? And so I think after that conversation, I'm like, you know, I want to do that this trip because there's fucking people everywhere and they're all on vacation just like us, like wanting to have a good time. So I'm like, I had it in my head like I want to do that. So anyways, here we go. Jumping around. But back to the next day. This is Tuesday. We went to the pool party. Old people everywhere, dude. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was like fucking 98% like 50 and up. Like a lot of like middle-aged and older people. Sorry to my middle-aged and older viewers, but yeah, dude. Just a bunch of old heads and prostitution everywhere, dude. That's what I realized is like there's like escorts everywhere in Vegas because there's like old, fat, gross, like wrinkly old men at this pool. And you'll see like the baddest fucking woman walk in, dude. And you'd be like, holy shit. And then she'll just walk straight over to one of those old guys and just be with them the whole time. So I'm like, okay. Like either sugar daddy or you're an escort, you know? And I'm betting on the latter. So that was like a trip because it's, dude, just Vegas is fucking gnarly. Like everything is condoned there. Like you can walk around drinking in public, open container, walk around drunk as hell, you know, gamble, lose all your money. There's fucking strip clubs everywhere. There's naked women everywhere. Escorts everywhere. There's fucking trucks driving down the strip all day long with an electronic sign on the back like escorts, call this number, call or text, fucking, and just pictures of naked women. Like, dude, Vegas is fucking another world. Anyways, we're at this pool party. Nobody there is our fucking age, dude. Whatever. I had like one drink in me, so I was feeling a little confident. And lo and behold, there was like 2 women like our age that show up and didn't look like hookers, but like were like attractive. And so I started talking to Lauren. I'm like, dude, she's so cute. Like, one of them in particular, dude, was so fucking like cute to me. Oh my god, she was so cute. And I started talking to Lauren. I'm like, dude, like, we should go talk to them. Like, we have to go talk to them. You know, like, fuck it. And she hypes me up. I'm a little bit buzzed. I start walking over because she was alone, right? So 2 girls show up. One like leaves for a while, and it's just the like one that I like had my eye on. I start walking over, which you're in a pool, which is so awkward because the walk is like so slow motion. It's like terrible. But I start walking over, and then the fucking friend comes back, and I was like, oh my god, and I fucking turned around, and I went back to Angel and Lauren. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, no, fuck it. Like, we still got to go, you know? And so it made it a little easier because Lauren's like, I'll go with you. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So we went up, and we were just like, yo, like, you guys are the only people in this fucking place that are our age. Like, what's up? You know? Just thought we'd say hi. And they're like, dude, I know. Like, why is everybody so old? Whatever. They're from Boston. Went to Northeastern. Very prestigious school, I think. I don't know. Sounds like it. And we were talking, dude, for a while, maybe like 30 minutes or so. Our group, they had 2 dudes that showed up, not their boyfriends, just their friends. And they were cool too. I will say like one was way more like friendly and cool than the other, but they were both like cool. The guys. But I stayed next to the one that I was like, you know, a little interested in, and talked to her, like just straight up like talked to her and nobody else really, like trying to kind of put out that vibe. And I was sensing nothing. I'll be honest with you. Nothing. Like, she was nice. She was really nice to me, but I just didn't feel like there was any kind of, like, chemistry, you know? And so we got that girl's number, the one that I was interested in. Lauren got it because I was too scared to ask, to be honest. But they were like, yeah, we might go out tonight, so maybe we'll meet you. And we're like, oh, yeah, we got these free tickets to fucking Omnia, which is like the craziest fucking club. It's the one with the fucking chandelier that comes down. You may have seen like videos of that. Anyways, the night comes. Such a fucking Vegas experience, dude. Just like all these random ass people we ended up meeting up with. Because early at the pool, we met this fucking Australian guy named Paulie. And this guy's 38 years old. But he's solo traveling. So he kind of like clung to us a little bit. So we meet up at the hotel room at like midnight that night. Fucking me, Angel, Lauren, and Terry, who's my mom's friend again. She's going out with us to the club, which is so fucking sick, dude. So funny, so cool. 4 of us. Paulie from Australia shows up. Then we fucking have those people we met at the pool show up. There's 5 of them, and we're all just in this fucking hotel room, dude. Just so many different ages and like backgrounds and walks of life. And I drank hella vodka, dude, like, or Bacardi, so rum. I drank hella fucking Bacardi before they showed up because I wanted to have like courage, because everybody's fucking hyping me up to like talk to the girl that I was like into. And, like, you gotta set your intentions, you know, like let it be known like that you're into her, you know. So I'm like, okay, fucking, like, they're all hyping me up. Fucking Paul from Australia is hyping me up, dude. He's like, I swear to God, dude, this is how it went. He was like, listen, mate, you've got a great head of hair, okay? You really got that going for you. You're handsome. Lots of men would kill for your hair, okay? It's like, just tell her how you feel. Be yourself, you know? I'm like, okay, dude. Everybody's hyping me up. Terry's hyping me up. She gave me chapstick. All this shit, right? We finally get to the club. They meet us there because they had, like, split up from us for a second. It was weird. But they come back. I'm faded. I've got it in my head, like, I have one mission tonight, and it's just to, like, see what's up, you know, with this girl. And so she comes up. It was just her and the 2 guys. That's a big part of the story. There was 2 other women with them. When they split up, they're like, oh, we need to go, like, take care of something real quick at the hotel room, but we'll meet you there. They don't come back. So it's just, like, it's just the, you know, fine shit and her 2 guy friends, right? They walk up to us. We're in the middle of fucking Omnia, dude, the club. This shit is so overstimulating, by the way. Holy fuck. Like, crazy house music blasting. I can feel it on my skin. This how strong the fucking speakers are. My ears are fucking, like, destroyed. Crazy flashing lights in there. The fucking chandeliers, like, doing the thing up and down and shit. And they come up to us. They meet us on the dance floor. Packed. But the girl comes up, and I don't know, like, in that moment, my move was, like, to ask for her drink. Because she had like, a beer in her hand. So I held my hand out, like, for her beer. And she, like, started to hand it to me. And one of the guys that she was with, the less cool and friendly one, he grabbed the fucking beer so quick. And I saw him, like, nodding his head and, like, said something to her. And then he drank the beer. And I was like, that was weird. You know? Like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's not looking good, you know? And it was so loud, I couldn't hear what he said, but that was already like, okay, weird. Again, vibes are off. But I think those pep talks that everybody gave me just really fucking were, like, locked in my head. So I think based off of that, I, like, started talking to her a little bit, and I asked her, screaming rather, because it's so loud, but I was like, are you talking to anybody here? And she goes, no, but I have a boyfriend back home. So all that fucking pep talk just for her to have a boyfriend, you guys. And I built that up to try to show you how I felt in that moment, because I did feel pretty defeated, at least for like 5 to 10 minutes. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like, that's what this is about, you know? Like, I'm meeting these people. I can't expect for it to go well. Like, it's probably going to go worse more times than it goes well, you know? But yeah, I just kind of stopped, like, you know, dancing. I mean, we all danced together still, and it wasn't weird, I don't think. And, like, when we left, like, she gave me a nice hug, and it felt like okay, but just a trip, man. We walked back to the hotel, which is, like, across the street. And it was funny, dude, because fucking Paulie from Australia, he was trying to talk to hella women that night. Like, I think that's just his MO. I could sense that from him, that he's a little bit of a dog. But he had told us, he's like, dude, I took, like, 5 L's tonight, you know? So it could be worse, you know? But we're walking back to the hotel. I think it's 5 of us, counting Paulie. And he starts like trying to talk to these 2 women that were walking kind of like in our vicinity, and they shut him down so fucking quick, dude. And I don't know what it was. I think it was just my drunken confidence. I was like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna talk to him. And then I talked to them, and I was like, where are you guys from? Because they're speaking a different language. And they were like, oh, we're from Germany. And I was like, oh, wow. And then, you know, we were like at a stoplight, and I talked to them a little bit about where they'd been, and they'd been to California and like SF and LA and Sequoia National Park. And I was like, oh yeah, we're pretty close to like Yosemite, and this is where we live in California and whatever. And that was that. Nothing came of that. But it was nice. I was just like, fuck it, dude. I'm trying to get my feet wet, you know? Again, I'm just trying to like put myself in those situations and see how it feels, you know? Because I've always avoided talking to strangers. The next day was our last day there, Wednesday. We were flying out Thursday morning. So we went to the fucking pool party again. And that was cool. I mean, we were in the pool drinking a little bit. I was pretty fucking hungover that day, though. Holy shit. And I went up to these other 2 women. They're from Italy, from Milan, Italy. And they were really nice and friendly. And I will say, I think from all the fucking, like, stranger women who were strangers that I talked to, I think the one that I was talking to from Italy right there, I think she probably displayed, like, the most interest in me. I don't know. Just from what I was feeling. I feel like she was just, like, smiling a lot, and she was asking me, like, a lot of questions and seemed interested. And I asked for her Instagram, and she gave it to me. She, like, got this big smile on her face and gave it to me. And she told us, she's like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to Encore Beach Club tonight, so, like, you guys should come with us, and it'd be so fun or whatever. And so I was like, okay, like, I'll see what the vibe is, if we're gonna go out and I'll hit you up, you know. And oh, it looks like I'm talking so quiet. Anyways, this is kind of wrapping things up here, but at that point, dude, I had been drunk every fucking day, gone to sleep after like 3 a.m. every night, drunk, like, dude, gnarly, like, not good sleep, exhausted, fucking bender vibes, you know? So the night came around, and I was, like, messaging this woman from Italy on Instagram, and she was messaging me back, like, consistently, you know? Like, she was about it. But we were just so burnt. Angel flew home that day, so he wasn't there for this. So it would have just been me and Lauren going out, but we were so fucking tired, dude. And we had to fly out. Like, I had to be up at 7 a.m. the next day. And I was just really crashing hard, dude. And we just decided not to go out, which I had so much fucking FOMO about, dude, because I'm like, God, like, with me, it's like anything with women, I fucking just fold, you know? It's something I'm working on. It's definitely like my weakness. But yeah, I had a lot of FOMO, but I also slept pretty fucking good that night, you know? And it's all good. What are you gonna do? You know, at least I got myself out there. You know, I talked to some strangers and women, and that was cool. And I think from it, I learned that, like, it kind of showed me, like, oh, they're not just thinking you're annoying, or, like, maybe some of them do, I don't know, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. But, like, I can feel that they're just human too, you know, especially being in Vegas. I think it's like you're on vacation, so I think people are a lot more open to, like, you know, shooting the shit with a stranger. There's also like 2 other women in the pool I talked to just briefly. They're from Tennessee. But nothing, you know. Anyways, dude, it was just cool. It was cool to, like, fuck around and find out and realize, like, oh, people aren't gonna, like, be hella mean to you, or, you know, be hella irritated or think you're a creep or whatever. And I try to just be myself, but it's so hard to, like, how do I, in such a quick little conversation, like, show you that I'm not a weirdo, you know, and that I'm not, you know, that I'm a genuine, like, kind of person. I don't know. So I think I'll learn that if I keep doing it. But yeah, it was cool. It's such a fucking thrill to do that, just because I've never done it before. But anyways, dude, that was my Vegas trip. Lost some money, fell in love with a stripper, talked to a lot of random women, met an Australian man who gave me, like, the greatest pep talk. Apparently he had a threesome on that trip too, but I don't know if I'm buying it. But we did see him making out with some woman at the pool. Aggressively, too, might I add. But yeah, man, that was Vegas. I feel like I had a very Vegas-esque, like, first time. You know, like, did a lot of, like, wild shit. Really put it all out there, you know. It was cool, man. I've been rocking chains recently. I rocked a chain every day in Vegas, and, dude, it's just like, it gives you this little, a chain fucking changes a man, dude. It's such a subtle thing, but it's such a powerful, like, you know, it just gives you that much more, like, confidence and a little bit of flair, you know. Anyways, that's that. We're almost at an hour here, so I think that's a good place to cut it. I really wasn't planning on going this long, and I think in the future when I do these episodes, I want to try to keep them a little shorter, maybe like 30 to 45 minutes I think would be good, just kind of short and sweet. But yeah, this felt pretty natural. The one other time that I did like a solo pod, me and Jaime both did a solo episode, it felt like this, like it felt pretty comfortable actually, so this is pretty sick. I think I will keep doing it. I don't know how often I'm going to do it. I should have said that in the beginning during my housekeeping part. But yeah, I don't know how often, but I just want to have a creative outlet, and I want to have something to post in between when me and Jaime are doing our episodes together. So stay tuned. You know, maybe I'll do like once a week. Maybe it'll be like once every 2 weeks, but I do like want to do it somewhat consistently. Yeah, I've got a lot of topics in my phone, so See you guys on the next one. Welcome to Shower Thoughts. Peace.